short yoga practice to help ease symptoms of PMS. The postures, movement and breathwork will help with cramping, bloating and mood. It will increase the circulation in your lower abdomen and into your pelvis. So I'm going to be using some yoga props. I will be using a chair, a blanket, a yoga block and an eye pillow. Now, if you don't have a yoga block handy, that's fine. Just use a firm pillow or a firm cushion. So we're going to get started now by coming down onto our backs. From here, just draw your legs into a bent knee. Now, if you'd like some support for behind your head, you've got your blanket handy. So you can just unfold your blanket and just place that just underneath the head for a little bit of support. And then from here, I'm going to draw both my knees in towards my chest. I want my hands below my knees. And I'm just going to start by a gentle rock from side to side. Then draw your legs back into center, and then we're going to take some circles over towards the left. So keeping the legs together, still maintaining the connection of your hands onto your legs. We're just doing some circles. So we're doing 3 circles in one direction, and then we're going to draw them back into center and do 3 circles in the opposite direction. And then draw it back into center. This time I'm going to just inhale and extend my legs away from the body. So my arms are extending long. And then exhale, draw my knees back in towards my chest. So inhale, starting to extend into the arms as the legs shift away from the body. And then exhale, draw them back into the chest. Now let's do that 2 more times. So inhale. Exhale, draw them back in. Inhale as they shift away from the body. And exhale, draw them back in towards the chest. From here we're going to do our jellyfish circles. So once again my hands are still connecting just below the knees. This time I'm going to take my legs out wide to the side, so it's almost like into a V shape. And then I'm going to come round into circles. So you're going to feel like you're getting some movement into those hips. We're just doing 3 circles in one direction, and then we're going to come back to center and do 3 circles in the opposite direction. Draw the legs back into center, and we're just going to release them back down onto the floor. From here, I'm going to draw my right knee in towards my chest. I'm interlacing my hands, and I'm placing them just below that right knee. Now from here, my left leg could stay in a bent knee, or I can choose to extend it out along my mat. So really up to you. Have a feel with each position and see what works best. I'm just going to hold it here for a few breaths. If it feels good, you could take some ankle rotation and then take it in the opposite direction. And then come back to a neutral position. Take an inhale breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to draw your forehead just up towards the knee, just expelling out all that breath as you're rising up. And then just slowly lower back down. From here, I'm going to slide my left leg back into that bent knee and then just release that right leg down onto the floor. I'm going to go on to the other side, so I'm going to draw my left leg in towards the chest, interlace my hands just below that left knee, hug that leg down, And if it feels good, you can slide that leg out, the right leg out this time along your mat, or keep it into your bent knee. And as I'm drawing that left leg down, I'm going to take some ankle rotation in one direction. And take that ankle rotation in the opposite direction. Come back to center. I'm going to take a deep inhale breath in. And exhale as I draw my forehead up towards that knee. Expelling out all that breath. And then slowly just lowering myself down. Slide my right leg in and release that left leg down. From here, I'm going to just draw my legs together. And I'm going to take my hands and just gently place them onto my belly. And I'm going to slowly just lower my legs out towards the sides. It's a very slow movement, taking them all the way down till the soles of your feet are pressing into one another. And very slowly, I'm going to start to rise them back up till they come all the way up. Now I'm going to bring the breath in. So I want a nice slow inhale. And as I take that slow inhale, I'm slowly lowering those legs at the same time. And then as I exhale, I'm going to slowly just rise them up. So we want a nice slow exhale as we gently and slowly rise those legs back up. And we're going to continue that for 2 more rounds. So inhaling in as you slowly let your legs fall out to the sides. And exhale as you slowly rise your legs back up to center. And inhale, slowly lower those legs down. And exhale, draw them back up. This is the last time, and this time we're going to actually stay down there. So inhale slowly as you slowly lower, let those legs just fall out to the sides. And then just slowly exhale the breath as we keep our legs out this time. I want you to just close your eyes here for a moment. And just check into the breath and just noticing that gentle rise and fall of your belly. And just feel that belly just rising into your hands. Feel as your hands expanding out. And then feel as you exhale that that belly is drawing in towards your spine. And with each breath, can you feel like you can relax your legs and hips a little bit more? Relax your lower back to press into your mat. And just take 2 more rounds of breath here. And very slowly just flutter open your eyes. You can use your hands to just support the rise of your legs. And then I'm going to take my blanket out from behind my head. Just place it over to one side. My legs are width apart. They're starting into a bent knee, and we're going to do some bridge rises. Now I want you to make sure that you've got your yoga block handy or your firm cushion or firm pillow. And we're going to start by just having our arms to the sides, palms facing down. And we're going to press into our feet as we start to peel our spine up off the floor as we come into a bridge rise. And very slowly we're going to lower ourselves down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Now as I come down, I'm then going to tilt or slide my pelvic bones forward so that I've actually got an arch underneath my back. So you should be able to just pop your hand in there. I'm going to release from there and then slowly start to press my low back into the floor. And as I inhale, I'm going to peel my pelvis and spine back up off the floor, just rising as high as you can. And then exhale, slowly lowering it down vertebrae by vertebrae. Once more, I'm going to start to slide those pelvic bones forward as I arch my low back. And then slowly release it, pressing my low back into the floor. I'm going to inhale and slowly peel my spine back up into my bridge lift. And then exhale, slowly lower back down. I'm going to do this one more time. So start to slide your pelvic bones forward, arching your back, and then slowly pressing your low back into the ground. We're going to rise ourselves back up. But this time I'm going to grab hold of my block, just on level 1 if you're using a block. I'm going to place it underneath my sacrum, and I'm going to rest my pelvis down onto the block. Now just making sure that it is underneath your sacrum, which is your pelvis, the back of the pelvis, and not underneath your low back. And I'm going to rest here for about 5 breaths. And if it feels good, you can start to extend your right leg out along the ground. Keep your left leg into a bench knee. And of course, if this doesn't feel good, just keep your legs into the bench knee. And just hold it here for 2 breaths. And then slowly slide that right leg back in. And start to extend my left leg out this time. Once again, I'm just holding it here for a couple of breaths. And then sliding it back in. From here, I'm going to press into my feet, just rise my pelvis up off my block or cushion, slide whatever prop you're using out, place it over to the side, and then slowly lower yourself back down. And before we continue on, if you want a little bit of movement after being on that block, you can just draw your knees in and just have that gentle rock from side to side. Just release your legs back down onto the ground, and we're going to just roll off to one side, and we're going to make our way into a tabletop position. In our tabletop, we just want our wrists just in line with our shoulders. We want our fingers nice and wide, and our legs should be hip width apart. Now, if it doesn't feel comfortable on the knees, you can grab hold of your blanket and you can just place it underneath your knees for some cushioning. I'm just going to take mine out for now. And from here, we're going to inhale and curl our sitting bones up towards the ceiling. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and just a slight looking up of the head. We're going to exhale as we press our mat away, round our upper spine and tuck our chin to chest. Inhale, curl the sitting bones up, draw the shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, round that upper spine, tuck chin to chest. Let's do that one more time. So inhale, draw your sitting bones up. And then exhale, round your upper spine, tuck chin to chest. And then just come back to your neutral spine in your tabletop position. Now we're going to do some more cat-cow, but this time we're going to link it into our child's pose. So we're going to inhale, curl our sitting bones up. Draw shoulders away from the ears, softening into your elbows. Exhale, press mat away, round upper spine, and then draw the sitting bones back. We're going to bring our big toes together, knees are wide, walk arms forward and bring forehead to floor. If your forehead doesn't go all the way to the floor, grab hold of your blanket or block and place it underneath your forehead or your cushion. And then from here, we're going to come back to our tabletop and then do that movement again. So inhale, coming into your cow pose. Exhale, press mat away, coming into your cat. Draw the sitting bones right back, big toes together, knees are wide, forehead to floor. Let's do that 2 more times. Come back to your tabletop and inhale, curl the sitting bones up, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, round upper spine, chin to chest, and draw those sitting bones back to heels, knees are wide, forehead to floor. Last time, coming back to your tabletop, draw your sitting bones up, and exhale, round upper spine, draw those sitting bones right back. Big toes together, knees are wide, walk hands forward as you're extending into your arms, forehead to floor. And we're going to stay here for about 5 rounds of breath. If this doesn't really feel good onto your knees, if you feel any kind of knee pain at all, then keep your hips high. So you can have your big toes together, you can walk your arms forward, but just keep your hips high so they're not going all the way back to your heels. And just take a couple more rounds of breath here. And very slowly, let's just walk yourself back up. We're going to finish this practice with some relaxation. So we're going to grab hold of our chairs. And I'm going to have my chair just towards the end of my mat. And I'm going to have my blanket at the top for support behind my head. And I want to have my eye pillow handy. So as I come back down onto the mat, I'm going to place my legs up onto the chair. I'm going to just grab hold of my blanket, line it up so it's supporting my head. And I'm going to grab hold of my eye pillow and just place it over top of my eyes. And you can place your hands either onto your belly or let them fall out to the side, whatever feels more comfortable for you. And then just start by tuning back into your breath. And settle into your stillness. And let's hold it here for about 5 more breaths. And when you're ready, we're just going to remove our eye pillows. Let us open our eyes and just adjust back to the light. And just finding that path of least resistance, I'm going to come up off my chair. So I really hope that this practice can help ease any symptoms you're having of PMS. Try to practicing it a couple of times a day and just see how you feel.